And we're live. People in the chat, can you see me and hear me? Might be a slight delay. Excellent. Thank you. All right, we're live. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Nashville Blue Jackets. Very good. This is the very first inaugural session zero, we'll call it, for a project by the name of Portal's Reach. It's a project that Duff, who's hosting us, has been very gracious to be facilitating and kind of kicking our butts along the way to get going and started and keeping us all in check. And it's something he's going to be hosting going forward in conjunction with Praetor's Rejects. What it is, it's a West Marches style game played over many DMs with hopefully an overarching storyline, a seasonal storyline, almost like a television show. So this is what we're doing. This is the test session for us. So I thank again everybody for tuning in. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be playing a heavily modified version of the quest called Temple of the Nightbringers. So I didn't write this, I didn't create it, but it has been heavily modified. You can find it over on the DMs Guild. Do we have any questions over in the peanut gallery? If not, we'll get started. We're a little behind schedule here. All right, let's kick things off. All right, folks. So it takes a moment for your eyes to adjust to your surroundings and for everything to sink in. You're lying amongst others in a field surrounded by a tree line on all sides. You take a look behind you and you see a massive ancient stone arch, and within, a strange, glowing, iridescent pool of swirling colors. The last thing you remember was striking a deal with a mysterious stranger in Waterdeep who offered the opportunity to wipe away the sins of your past. It almost sounded too good to be true. What was the catch? Nothing. Or so you thought. All you had to do was agree to continue adventuring, but somewhere abroad. This is not what you had in mind. So you're all laying in a heap amongst one another. Your minds are kind of foggy. You don't really truly remember what happened leading up to this. You have no idea where you are. This place looks almost alien to you. It does not look like anything near or around Waterdeep. It's a forest, but the trees seem a little strange. They seem a little off. It's not like anything you've seen before. What we're going to do is we're going to start off with Cathra. You're the first to open your eyes and kind of take in your surroundings. Why don't you go ahead and give us a little introduction of who you are and how you perceive what's going on.
I'm Cathra Broadoken. I am a paladin, and all I can see is a bright glare. The first reaction I have is to clasp the amulet of my god around my neck, and thank goodness it's there.
Very good. All right, Malrin, why don't you go next?
My eyes open, and I realize I've made a horrible mistake. I have only a staff in my hands. I reach back behind and find that I still have my trusty spell book and the pack that I entered Waterdeep with.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, I stripped you of your spell book.
I
No, I'm
reach
just
back
kidding.
and
I'm
find
just kidding. I'm just kidding.
My,
I'm just kidding.
my spell book is gone.
No, you have it.
Oh, okay. I get it now. I am troubled by what has happened and a bit foggy on how I got here, remembering something only about a deal and a heavy heart, something in my past that I was running from that took me to the city of splendors. And now I look about at these strange trees.
Very good. All right, I'm seeing here that the volume's a little low on you guys. Can I get you guys to speak up a little bit more when you go? I'm just gonna turn things up on my end. All right, next up we're gonna do Kaladar. Push to talk. Kaladar, are you doing push to talk? All right, we're gonna come back to him. He might be having some technical difficulties, and let's go to Sand Dirty Feet.
I'm a halfling rogue. Wake up, open my eyes, and I'm disappointed to see I'm not the first one awake. Look around and am quite upset to see that I'm in a forest and it doesn't look like there's anything here for me to steal. Put my hand on my hilt of one of my daggers and move a few feet back from the group.
Excellent. Baracus.
I wake up and find my spear and my belongings on me, but I wake up in this strange place, look around, and see these four. Not too pleased about my current situation. I also kind of step away from the group and find a tree to lean on.
Okay. So you're in a big clearing. So you're not near the tree line yet. This area's been cleared of the trees. So you're about 50, 75 feet away from the trees themselves as you're waking up. Kaladar, do we have you working? I can just barely hear you. I don't know if the stream can hear you. They're having trouble hearing some of the players.
I can try and speak up.
It's still quite muffled.
I apologize. A little unfamiliar with the computer I'm using on the headset.
Okay, well, let's do your best, and we can always fix it next week.
I open my eyes, see strange people, not sure where I am or how I got there. Stand up, say, I am Kaladar. Who are you and why are you here? Why am I here? And how do I get home?
All right. So you all look at each other. You're not familiar with one another at all. You've never met, never seen each other. You've got some of you are kind of slinking away from one another. Kaladar stands up and shouts out, "Who are you?" Others are just coy. So as you're doing this and taking it in, suddenly from the tree line, an arrow rips in the direction of Malrin, just barely missing you. It came from the east side of the tree line. And then you hear a voice shout out to you. "Oi, who goes there? What do you want?"
Can we see this person speaking?
You can't see anybody currently.
Is it coming from the tree line?
It is coming from the tree line.
Do we have cover about, or are we in the open?
You have absolutely no cover whatsoever. You have this giant like stone arch portal thing behind you, but it's not going to offer very good cover.
Okay. Well, how far are we from the tree line?
You are about 50 to 75 feet, roughly.
Oh, okay. Just a single arrow?
A single arrow, and it just flew, like, whizzed past your head.
Malrin will stand up and shout, "Step forward, out of the trees."
"Who's asking?"
I am Malrin.
What is your business on this side of the portal?
We do not know. I do not know.
Well, who sent you?
That is unclear.
So you don't know who sent you, and you don't know your business.
You would know more than I. What is this place?
I don't know any more than you do. I'm stuck here just like you. I came through about a fortnight ago, and I've not been able to get back since. There are others here as well, but they don't last long.
Why not?
You, with that question, Sand, you see a figure step forth from the tree line. It's a somewhat muscular built male with straight white hair, and you can see these piercing brown eyes in your direction, and he's holding up a longbow that's drawn with an arrow nocked, pointing at all you. Goes. We could use some able bodies. But how do I know you can be trusted?
How do we know you can be trusted?
You don't.
Well, then it seems we're of the same position.
What help could we offer you? Anyway.
Well, we can maybe talk about that later, but survival is the thing that is essential these days. Many have trickled through that portal. Few survive. This is a strange, harsh land. Many bizarre and alien creatures that I've never seen before. People come through
Like what?
and
Describe
disappear.
them.
Describe them? I can't even put words to what I've seen. If you're lucky, you'll never encounter any of the things I've seen. Or if you do, they'll get you before you see them.
Great. I bet there's no place to get a drink either.
Kind of looks at you and shrugs off the smart-ass comment.
Now we'll close the distance, slowly walking toward the man.
Okay,
Undirectly.
he's got his bow trained on you the whole time that you're stepping forward.
Stranger, if we're supposed to get anywhere, put down your bow as I draw my warhammer.
Okay. So he's not sure who to train his arrow on now. Why don't whoever wants to that's talking to him and trying to calm him down, make me a persuasion roll. Go ahead and do that in the dice tower.
Rolled intimidation because I'm just brooding in the corner staring at him.
Trying to
Infernal
intimidate him.
eyes and all that.
Okay, so with that, Cathra, he kind of gives his head a shake when you said that, and he starts to lower the bow as well. And as you get closer as well, Mal, Randy goes, "You're right. There's no point in fighting. Listen, we need able-bodied people here, and you look like you could handle yourselves in a fight. Why don't you join me? Come this way. There's a small camp. Where a few of us have been trying to survive, and I'll explain what's going on."
All right.
All right. So he puts his bow on his back, puts the arrow back in his quiver, and kind of waits for you all to make your way over to the tree line that he stepped out of. Does everybody head over there?
Sure.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So he guides you into the forest, kind of darting between trees. There's no clear path in the way he's taking you. And much like when you came through, you're noticing these trees just don't seem like trees that you've seen before. They're kind of gnarled and twisted, and just they're familiar but different all at the same time. So you're getting the feeling that this is not Faerun. This isn't your home. This isn't what you're used to. Something is definitely different on this side of the portal, and you don't know what it is, but it's not home. And he guides you guys through the forest for about a good 15-20 minutes, and you come to a small clearing where there's a makeshift fire pit, and it looks like there's some makeshift hovels and living area, and he offers you to take a seat around the fire. There doesn't seem to be much activity going on in the small camp right now. It looks like he might be the only one. So he offers you to sit down around the fire, and he'll get you, fix you up some food and get you some water as well, if you're interested.
Sure, but what do you know if it's edible or not?
With that, he just kind of smiles. Trial and error. Maybe you're the guinea pigs.
Lovely.
You're not good at making friends, are you?
Oh, it's
I think
not
he's
one
more
of
of
my
a
Where are the
realist
others?
friend.
not one of my strong points.
Yeah, I'm getting that.
So he goes into one of the little makeshift hovels, and he's in there for about 10 minutes, and he starts coming out. He comes out with these like dishes carved out of wood. They're just really, really amateur makeshift sort of thing. These aren't, the dishes that you're used to seeing. And there's some nuts and some berries and such in them. And he comes back, and he's got some makeshift cups with water in it. And he once he passes them out to everybody, he sits down around the campfire with you, and he introduces himself. He's, my name is Toth Quickhand. Like I said, I've been here about 2 weeks now, as far as I can tell, and it's been an utter living hell being here. I don't know what this land is. I made a deal with some stranger. Next thing I know, I'm on the other side of a portal, fighting for my life. Similar story to other ones who have made their way here as well. I'm a constable of sorts. I've been appointed. I kind of look after the camp and the others, make sure things are safe around here. That's why I trust you don't take much offense to the arrow. I wasn't meaning to hit you or anything.
Well, that's a relief. At least we know you're not that bad of a shot.
Kind of smirks at you. So, since I've been here, our numbers have dwindled. Many go out, they look, check our surroundings, but never come back. One of my comrades who's been lucky enough to survive with me is an accomplished elven huntsman. She's currently out right now collecting, trying to get some food, some real food, not these berries, but some meat. Dawn should be back in the morning. But the others, everyone else, as far as I know, dead. Or perhaps they've stumbled onto something and not come back for the rest of us.
You said monsters. What have you seen in the woods?
I've seen many strange things, and I've also seen familiar things. Strange creatures, four-legged, two-legged, I've never seen the likes of, but, from time to time we see the odd goblin, the odd orc, the odd gnolls, ogres. I have a feeling they've come through here through similar portals as we have. I've like I said, I've tried crossing back, and it doesn't work. It seems to be a one-way gate to hell.
I pictured hell to be a little bit, less comfortable.
Toth, where are you from?
I'm from Waterdeep.
That's where I came from.
Hmm.
What about the rest of you?
Same story here.
Malred looks
I'm
across
from.
everybody. Are we all from Waterdeep?
I am.
I am from where I am from.
Do you not know where you're from?
I do, stranger, but at this time I do not care to tell you.
Narin shrugs.
So you never find corpses when they leave, eh?
No, we've never found a corpse. Thankfully, we never
There's
found
hope.
what made the corpse either. Tell you what, though, you look like you're adventurers. By the way, you're all dressed in your armor and your garb. You interested in perhaps helping us out with some problems, some issues that we're having? Perhaps make it a little bit more hospitable here for us?
Can we see anybody else besides Toth?
Why don't you go ahead and make me a perception check? In the tower. Anybody who wants to can. Okay. So Malrin, you get a good indication of what's going on around here. You get a good look. You know, when Toth is in the middle of talking and his attention is taken away, you're able to like take a look around and take everything in. From what you can tell, this place is abandoned. He's the only one. Like I said, there are makeshift hovels and shelters and everything, but they appear to be abandoned. Cold, no movement, no sign of life.
Toth,
Yeah.
you are the only one here, aren't you?
Currently, like I said, Dawn is out hunting, hopefully getting some meat. It's a brutal world.
What other weapons do you have besides that bow?
Got my sword, and he taps the short sword on his hip.
Do you have any other weapons here?
No. Anybody who goes out there in the wilderness takes their weapons with them. Chance of survival. But most who come through the portal aren't trained or skilled types like you and me and Dawn. Why are you asking?
Is there a source of water nearby? What have you been drinking these last few days?
This is water that you're drinking. There's a stream near here.
Well, I guess we should start there. Take us to the stream.
What do you hope to accomplish there?
Toth, I'm more curious what it is that you want us to do. What is it that we'll get from helping you?
Well, maybe you can make this place a bit more hospitable. Listen, like I said, there's other things that have come through the portal from our world. We've seen a tribe of goblins nearby. It looks like they've taken up residence in some sort of old building or crypt or something. I haven't seen it. Dawn claims she's seen them coming and going. But we're competing with them for the food source. And we think they may be spying on our camp, possibly killing some of our people.
Sounds like we just need to talk to this Dawn person.
Aye, you can. She'll be back in the morning, if everything goes according to plan, if she survives this damn wilderness. She's been here longer than I have.
What time is it now?
It's about 2 in the afternoon.
How many hours in a day?
24.
Awesome.
And there's a bunch of empty shelters here now?
There are empty shelters. There's more than enough for all of you. You can see, there is actually the odd belonging behind, but it's just like clothing. There might be like a coat that someone left behind, boots, whatever they were carrying when they came through the portal. If there's something a little extra that they didn't want to bring with them when they left the camp, it's kind of strewn about.
Does he have a short bow or a long bow?
He's got a longbow and a short sword.
Does he look to have many arrows?
He has a quiver full of arrows.
Okay. Toth, he'll step over to him and say, "I'm going to need that bow if I'm going to help you."
He looks kind of shocked and then like lets out a sarcastic laugh. He's over my dead body. I need this to survive. How do you think I've lasted as long as I have?
He'll glance at Malrin will look at the rest of the party and the people there and look back. Say, well, if you can't use it, maybe somebody who can should. And he'll step off.
he gets his that gets his feathers all ruffled. He goes, "What makes you think I can't use this bow?"
Leave him alone, dude.
The elf just
I
stalks
gesture
off.
just to you. Like, come on.
The elf will stalk off and make himself comfortable in one of the shelters in view of the group.
All right. So Toth kind of keeps his eye on you. He's not too sure what to make of Malrin. Challenge him openly after he invites you into his camp.
He's an army of one.
Good point. All right. Anybody else have any questions for him? Want to kind of check anything out?
Probably
I
just
think-
pass the time until Dawn gets back.
I think I'm gonna go sneak around the camp.
Okay. So, what do you mean, like sneak around? You just want to kind of go into the shadows and kind of
Scope out the place, look for whatever's around, look for anything of value that I might be able to pocket.
Right. Okay. So why don't you make me a stealth roll in the dice tower?
Can I play a musical instrument?
Do you have one?
Should.
Okay. Yeah, of course you can. You pull out your musical instrument and start playing it, and you're you know what? Your Toth is actually quite taken by the song you're playing.
It's a lute.
And he's, "Oh, I recognize this. This is one of my favorites. Thank you. I haven't heard music in quite some time." And as you start doing that, Sand, you think his attention is taken away by the lute, and you kind of start sidestepping away and make your way to the first kind of hovel. And as you do, he goes, "Hey, what are you doing? That's my quarters. What are you doing going in there?" And he like stomps over and grabs you by the cuff of your cloak and he says, "Stay out of my hovel."
My bad, just looking around, trying to get the lay of the land.
"Hey, you're welcome to, but stay out of my quarters."
Fair enough.
Anybody else want to do anything?
Stranger, which direction does the sun set?
Sets in the north.
Very well. And which direction is that?
He points.
Well, why wouldn't you just call the direction it sets the west?
Are you asking me out of game?
No. I'm asking.
No.
Malrin is asking Toffee. He's like, "You idiot! Just call the direction the sun sets the west, or everyone will be confused."
He kind of thinks about it, and he's like, "Oh, good point." And makes a mental note.
Unless you have a compass that proves otherwise.
Thank you, stranger. And Catherine picks up her stuff and trudges on that way.
Or just takes off into the bush.
For a moment of solitude and prayer, yes.
Okay. Sand, can I ask you a question? A quick question. Can you just lower the volume on your mic just a little bit? It's coming through a little loud. Does anybody else want to do anything while they are in camp?
Is that a bit better?
Stream, is that any better? We have to wait for the delayed response. It was just mentioned that it's a bit loud. Lower, even more. You're real hot, I'm being told. On that headset, there should be a mic volume on that little rectangular thing in the middle that you can lower and raise.
Is that better?
Sounds good to me, but wait to see what the others say. Hot mic, hot mic.
It's really funny because
They say no, they say you just need to buy a crappier mic. It's funny because I gave him that mic. That's my old mic. That's my crappy old mic that he's using. Okay, people are saying it sounds better. Perfect. Thank you, sir. Anybody else want to do anything? Get the mic out of your mouth.
May as well walk the grounds. I kind of walk around the perimeter of what I think is the hovel grounds.
Okay. Yeah, you do, and you take it in. You know, you do a once over, and there's about 11 like makeshift shelters that have been built here, and there's just like things that are built underneath trees with like tree branches that have been broken down and just makeshift things like that, to things that are a little bit more elaborate, and they look a little older, where someone's like erected walls and a roof on it. But again, it's all makeshift. It's things made with things that have been found around this forest. There aren't any like foundations and stone buildings that are put up here. This definitely looks like it is a wilderness survival camp sort of situation. So,
Boss, you said you'd been here for 2 weeks, but Dawn was here before. How long has Dawn been here?
So for the folks on the stream who can't hear, Kaladar asked how long Dawn has been here. Toth kind of takes his hand and strokes his chin and goes, I really don't know. Dawn hasn't, she kind of keeps to herself, doesn't talk about such things, and she's a much kinder soul than I, and she looks after others. That's why she's out looking for food. She hasn't revealed a lot, really. I can't say. You could ask her. Maybe she'll tell you, but she hasn't told one of us.
How do you know Dawn's one of us? How do you know Dawn didn't bring us here?
So Kaladar asked, how does he know that Dawn isn't the one that brought everyone through the portal? He looks kind of stumped. I don't, but I don't know. I don't know that. That's a good question. Nah, and he shakes his head and just kind of brushes. No. She's out here for survival like the rest of us. She does a share, chips in, finds us food, and helps all the newcomers if they're around before they die and they get a chance to meet her.
So how close is the danger that you have experienced?
Things
Is it
creeping.
near? Is it far?
Things creep into camp all the time. If you're talking about them goblins, I don't. Don's the one who's seen where they're living, where they made their the grounds. I don't know. She says they're a threat. But the creatures of the forest, they're all around us. Things wanted to camp. We've had one fella about 4 days ago was dragged right out of his hovel. Never seen him again.
By one of those monstrous creatures you're talking about, or like a bear?
Don't know. Don't care to know. Didn't get me. That's all that matters.
Well, I'm not sleeping.
All right. So you guys kind of take in the camp. You ask him questions of the day. The day's progressing. It's been about 5 hours since you've come to the camp. It's starting to get dark out, and he offers again as it gets near dusk. He lights a fire. He offers you more berries and more water and everything else. He's got some mushrooms that have been picked. You can take your chance on those. And he points you all to different hovels and say, these are all open. You can sleep in any of them. This one's mine. That one's off limits. I'm heading to bed. Hopefully you're all around in the morning.
Are you not
No
going to
watch
have to
set?
watch? I'm sorry, go ahead. Bertha, go ahead.
What was that,
No
Catherine?
watches being set?
He goes, no, I'm not staying up. I need my rest if I'm going to survive. Do you guys, I was going to ask you now, do you guys want to set up a watch?
Well, Malrin looks around to the rest of the group and says, I know a fair bit about him, but I don't know anything about any of you. My name is Malrin. I'm an elf and a mage.
And a troublemaker. Point a finger at him.
Who said that?
I raise my hand proudly.
Which character are you again?
Baracus.
Baracus. Okay. What does Baracus look like?
I am a fallen Asimar.
Oh, okay. So,
Noticeable.
and then do you have any weapons or anything on you?
I have a spear and a dagger.
What is your name?
Baracus.
Do you know how to use that?
Absolutely.
And you, the sneaky one, what is your name?
Or the not so sneaky one?
What do they call you?
You can call me your lordship, but I'll answer to Sand.
Well, you'll get the
Ooh,
latter, not the
feisty.
former. He'll look around and stop at Kaldar. And you, sir, what is your name?
As I've said, my name is Kaladar.
Kaldar. What does Kaldar look like?
Kaladar is a 8-foot tall Goliath.
Oh, okay. Nice. All right. Well,
Malrin's familiar with those.
Ren looks you over and says, well, I think you could carry your weight in a fight, no doubt. Do you have a weapon on you?
Only what I carry.
What, does he have anything that he's carrying?
You see an axe on one side of his, on one hip, and a long sword on the other.
Okay. And then what about Cathra? You'll look to Cathra.
I am Cathra Broadoken, sister of Archer Broadoken. That is all you need to know.
Do I know? Have I ever? Is that a? I'm asking out of character. Is that a religious thing or is that a?
Yes, like social environments really freak her out.
Oh no, no, no. I'm just saying. I didn't catch the part. She's part of a sisterhood or something.
No, I'm sister to Arthur Broadoaken. He's
Oh,
my
okay.
brother.
Oh, okay, okay. Is she? What race is she?
I'm a mountain dwarf.
Oh, a dwarf. Okay.
Dwarf.
All right. Well, I'll read a look and say, well, it's understandable. Your poor manners. You're a dwarf.
Off to a lovely start.
From an elf, I pay that no mind.
I would expect nothing less. And he looks across the group and he says, well, it seems like it or not, we're all in the same boat. Perhaps we should work together. It doesn't seem that our host is in any better shape than we are. And in fact, his talent seems to be to get others to do his work for him. But surely we should have a watch. And he nods to the dwarf approvingly. Um, uh, he looks around and says, who would like to take first watch?
Erase my spear. I'll
take
do it.
first watch.
Okay. And we'll set about coming up with a watch order.
I can take second.
I'll go third.
I shall finish into the morning then. Or I guess we have
Halfling, can you see?
Better than you.
In the dark, I mean, you fool.
Shots fired.
I'll be right fine.
What I'm going to ask everybody to do is to head on over into the party sheet and click on the order tab and set yourselves up in the watch order for me from first to last. And for our new folks to Fantasy Grounds, just to do a little walkthrough, the party sheet is the button on the top right hand side that has like three little silhouettes and an I, like the letter I. If you click on that, it'll bring up a screen that says party sheet. And on the right hand side, you'll see main inventory order and XP. You just click on order and you should see all your characters in there. And you can just put a number next to your character for what order you are in the watch.
you're
Don't
gonna
believe
have
I
to set,
can.
Yeah, you're gonna have to set the
Oh,
watch.
do I? Okay, so who was first?
Brachus, then Cathra, then Sand. Unless we have established that Sand cannot do it because he is blind.
And then who was next? I got Brachus,
Now.
Catherine Sand.
Malrin will go last.
Hey,
He only needs 4 hours of sleep anyways because he's an elf.
are you guys able to set up your marching orders though?
I
Information?
believe we can do that by dragging our tokens over.
Okay.
I just dragged the sheet when I tried to do that.
Yeah, you're right. Yep. Nope. You're gonna have to drag the tokens over to the marching order.
Okay, we can do that after.
Mhm.
All right, very good. So night falls, and as it does, you hear sounds coming from the woods around you. Go
One
ahead.
thing that Malrin would like to do,
Mm-hmm.
he'd like to secure a bit of. Can he find a bit of rope? Or I guess he doesn't even need it. He's an elf. He's going to go up a tree, but before he does, is Toth sleeping yet?
Toth is asleep. Yeah.
Okay, he's going to look to Sand, and he's going to nod, and he's going to say, "When trouble comes, you'll want me to have that bow. Could you go fetch it so we don't disturb our host?"
Yeah, I'll give it a go.
All right.
Don't forget the arrows, friend.
Of course not.
Doing some dirty work here, Sand. Already, you don't even know this guy, and you're willing to go hand him a weapon.
Well, giving him something to do that he loves to do.
Stealing things.
And I'd rather have somebody up in a tree ready to shoot when there's people getting torn out of beds.
They could see in the dark.
Okay. So go ahead and make me a stealth check in the tower there, Sand. So you get up from the campfire, you dust yourself off, you take your hood and flip it up, put your cloak all around you, like, you know, trying to be all stealthy, and you start making your way into the hovel. And you make your way in there, and you see Toth lying down, sleeping. He's out of it. He's like he's snoring, like everybody could hear him from the campfire. And as you get in there, you go to reach for the bow, and as you do, you knock over a bunch of bowls that he had used for serving you guys the food that he had given. And he also, who's that? And he draws his short sword and sees you standing, holding his bow. What are you doing with my bow? I've told you to stay out of my quarters.
I'm
Can you
I'm gonna
believe he
hightail
gave
it.
him his bow? God.
You rolled a 2, just so you know.
I am not doing well at this.
It's the dice, man. Change the color of the dice. It always works.
Yeah, Melrin will just call in and say, "Oh, I can't believe they hid stealing bows already. Unbelievable."
You're the one to ask him to go get it, I shout.
You guys have no allegiances to one another. You've just met, and it shows.
No, Melrin did not say that. He was just joking.
I hightail it out of there from that groggy guy with the bow and quiver.
Okay.
Good work.
All right. So he comes after you with the sword in hand. And he goes, "Give me that back, or you're gonna regret it, halfling."
Actually, yeah. At that point, Melrin will just reach out and take it from him, so he doesn't. So he's no longer the one dealing with the guy.
Okay, so you've got the bow, and he's got his short sword drawn. He's like, "Obviously, I made a bad judge of character here. You're nothing but a bunch of thieves."
All right, and Malrin says, "Let me show you something," and walks over to a tree, and then he starts climbing it.
How are you going to call us a bunch of thieves when we're not even good at it?
I didn't say you're good thieves. So he's got his sword drawn. He goes, "Get out of my camp. Just leave. I show you hospitality, and this is how you return it, by stealing from me in the night."
Just well, Malrin's just going to climb up the tree unless he attacks him.
So you're just gonna set up a tree? You're gonna have like the arrow knocked and pointed at him?
No, not at him. I'm going to go to sleep and ignore him or start meditating.
I'm going to try and persuade this guy that this is for the best.
You're gonna try and persuade him that it's for the best? So,
He can sleep. The elf will be in the tree, looking after him. He can rest. We can look at getting him the bow back potentially in the morning.
Malrin asks him. He says, "Toth, can you see in the dark?"
No, I'm a human.
Then
Of course I can't see in the
agree-
dark.
Toth, can we agree then that until the sun rises, the bow is of no use to you?
He looks confused. He's taking it in. And he goes, "But that doesn't excuse theft in the middle of the night."
Well, I asked first, didn't I?
No.
Of course I did. You said no.
Give me back my bow.
I will, at dawn, when you can use it. Until then, I'll use it to kill whatever comes to drag you off in the night.
All right, let's jump back to Sand, because Sand, you were trying to persuade him that this is for the better as well, right? And you started that first. So why don't you go ahead and make me a persuasion roll, and I'll give you advantage on the roll because Malrin is backing up what you're saying essentially, right? He's like validating your argument. So to give yourself advantage, in the bottom left-hand corner there, underneath the chat window, you should see a modifier 0 button, and to the right of that, you should see ADV and DIS. You just click ADV, And that will give you advantage on a roll. And go ahead and roll me persuasion in the dice tower, please. Come on, Sand, kill it. He's not convinced. He goes,
Of course not.
he go,
How do I change the color on these?
Click on the little palette in the top right hand corner.
While he's convincing him, that's my role to get up the tree.
Okay, you effortlessly make your way up the tree.
I'm gonna go up 30 feet and settle down and start to lay the bow knocked in my lap and start to go into a trance, and I'll ignore the rest of the party.
Okay, he heads over to you, Sand, and he demands. He's like, "Get out of the camp. I don't care what happens to you. Get out of here." With his sword pointed at you.
Cathra comes charging out of her hovel and stands in between Sand and the stranger.
Okay.
Excuse me, sir. There's no need to talk to this halfling in this manner. I mean, it's a simple misunderstanding. Either you want to live or you want to die. If you want to die, the rest of us will take our belongings and leave. If you want to live, go back to bed and wake the rest of the camp.
Okay, why don't you go ahead and make me an intimidation roll in the dice tower? Oh my god. You get out too, he says. You rolled a 1. Get out of here, all of you. You're all thieves. I don't want you here. I don't need your help. Go die.
I whisper in his ear, "You first."
All right, we're gonna murder hobo this up right from the very beginning, aren't we? He draws his sword, and
Malrin wakes from his trance, looks down, and says, I would find it horribly bad taste to shoot you with your own bow, but I'd like to point out that you have no way to fight me if I decide to kill you with this."
I don't care. Leave, he says. Leave. Take the bow. Just get out of here.
Malrin says, "We don't wish to hurt you. Just go back to bed."
We'll leave in the morning.
Okay.
Can we hear anything other than this argument, like outside the camp?
It's pretty loud, your argument. He's shouting like a madman. And okay, he's shouting like crazy. He sees Cathra like fully armored standing in front of him, even though she's not very intimidating. Sand, you're there. He's got a bow trained on him. There's an 8-foot tall Goliath. And he assesses the situation and just kind of lets out a grunt. Goes, "You better leave by the morning. I could tell I'm outnumbered. I won't win this fight. But you're not welcome
Sure
here."
count that high.
He shoots you a dirty look. "You're not welcome here. I show you hospitality. They say you return it. I know I won't win this fight. Just don't slit me throat in the middle of the night. That's all I ask." And he stomps back to his hovel. And he kind of props himself up in a corner. He's lying there, essentially with like one eye open, watching everybody, but on guard now.
Could be a real ass right now. Start throwing rocks at his hovel.
or Eldritch Blasts at his hovel.
I don't want to break it.
Or his own arrows at his hovel.
Oh, that'd be even worse.
All right, so he's pouting in his hovel. So what you guys have set up your watch order? Are you ready to head to bed?
I'm curious as to what my intimidation roll was.
Your intimidation roll was really good, actually. I didn't see it in the tower. But yeah, he's retreated back to his hovel for the night, knowing that he won't win this fight, but he'd rather live to see another day, essentially, in this horrible wasteland. All right, so it is nighttime. And things are pretty quiet. You guys settle down as best you can after the little stir that you caused in camp. And as you quiet down, you hear all sorts of sounds around you. There's normal forest sounds. You can hear things that almost sound like squirrels and birds and insects and things like that. But then you also hear like the odd call or chirp or howl from a beast that you're not familiar with. So it is a little unsettling. You don't get to sleep quite as fast as you would hope, but eventually, exhaustion kicks in, and the adrenaline wears off, and you guys fall asleep. It's about halfway through the night, and it's on your watch, Sand, where you're sitting there. What do you have for weapons? Like, describe for me what you're doing on your watch, where you're set up, what you have drawn, if anything.
Keep my hands on my two daggers, and I'm sitting somewhat in the shadows, trying to keep an eye out as best as I can wherever the fire will show me.
Okay. Are you kind of like, are you sitting in a hovel watching? Or are you up in a tree? You got your back against a tree?
Against the wall of a hovel.
Okay. So as you're doing that, you're a little drowsy. So you're rubbing your eyes once in a while. You're doing your best to stay awake. And then you notice this like a light. It's like a small ball of light, and it starts coming closer and closer and closer through the trees to the camp. And again, you like rub your eyes. You're not sure, like, am I seeing this? Because it's bright and shining, but you don't see anything in the middle of the light. And it's almost like it's just gliding between the trees. As it gets closer, you see this bizarre creature. It's somewhat familiar.
Good enough, I sound the alarm.
You see this strange creature making its way towards you. It looks almost like an elk or a deer, but it's covered in moss and flowers and vines, and it's not making a single sound. You go to sound the alarm. What's the alarm? What is that?
I'm just going to whistle as loud as I can, and yeah.
So you go to place your fingers in your mouth to let out a loud whistle, and as you do that, your arms, they won't move. You're paralyzed, and you want to react, but you feel this like sense of like euphoria or joy. You're not scared. You don't feel threatened whatsoever. And this strange creature just keeps getting closer and closer to camp, and you're just frozen, but not in fear. You don't even feel like harm coming your way. And
Did he get the alarm off or not?
No, he can't even move. So this thing makes its way up into the camp, and it walks right through the middle of the camp. It doesn't look at you. It doesn't look at any of the hovels. Cuts its way through camp, and then just continues on through the tree line. And you watch it for a good 5-10 minutes as it gets further and further and further away. And finally, once the light's gone, you're able to move once again. You snap out of it, and you're able to move once more, but it seems to have disappeared into the night.
All right. It is, my mind's playing tricks on me. It's time for the next person to take over watch.
Okay, so you wake up Kalidar, who's next. Do you want to tell him anything about what you... What? Someone in the chat said you should donate some of your volume to Kalidar. Do you want to tell him about what you saw?
I don't even know how to.
Wash your hands and brush your teeth, honey.
Yeah, I'll give it a go at describing it as best I can.
Okay, so Kaladar, he describes seeing something on his watch. What was described? Do you do or say anything? Do you even react?
Some kind of glowing green elk thing.
I'll tell him that I'll keep my eyes open, but privately I'll think he's crazy.
Okay, so for people watching, Kaladar says, he acknowledges it, says he'll keep his eyes open, but, in his head, he thinks Sand's crazy. But we all do. All right, so Kaladar, your shift goes by uneventful. And then Malrin, you're the last of the night. And
Yes. Well,
and
Malrin would be up. He only sleeps 4 hours a night.
okay. So you're awake during Kaladar's watch then.
Oh, okay. Do I? I'm the type of elf that is Fey. Do I recognize this at all?
Yeah, let's do a roll. Why don't you do a nature
Eladrin
roll?
Is the name? What is it?
A nature roll for me.
Okay. Not
And
the skill I have.
You don't need to
but-
hide it or anything. You can just roll it out in the open.
Okay. Not a great roll.
So you are not familiar with this being.
Now I have a question for you.
Sure.
Does the Fey ancestry being immune to sleep and charm protect me from that effect, or am I also swept away in the in that same kind of euphoria?
Yeah, if we're doing the shifts here and you only need, how long do you need to sleep?
4 hours.
4 hours. You would have been awake. You were also paralyzed. So you would have witnessed this and you were also paralyzed during these events.
Interesting.
I blame the squirrel in the background.
The squirrel chirping. All right. So, Malrin, your shift also passes uneventful. So, morning comes, the sun rises, and everybody is rested. Sand, you're a little out of sorts. Malrin, you are kind of accepting of what you witnessed, but you're not too sure what to make of it. Do either of you want to tell the others, Kathra and Baracus, of what you witnessed last night? Kaladar is already aware. Or do you just want to keep it to yourselves?
Might say something later.
Okay.
I go ask Kaladar if he saw the thing that I told him about.
Nothing showed up on my watch.
This is all clear. All clear as watch. You're just a crazy old Sand who's seeing things in the night. You would not have been aware if Malrin was awake. So, as far as you know, you're the only one who saw this.
Yeah, I'm taking it to the grave.
Okay, you just told Kaladar and that's it?
That's it.
All right. So it's morning time now. The sun's coming up. Toth comes out of his hovel and he looks pissed off. He's still got his sword drawn. Pokes his head out, kind of looks around and lets out a huff. He's like, "Oh, you're still here. At least he didn't cut my throat in the middle of the night." And he kind of stays in his hovel. He stays at the entrance and just kind of watches all of you with his short sword drawn.
Say good morning, sunshine.
He just kind of shrugs that off. When are you all leaving?
Right now.
When is Dawn gonna be back?
Sometime today, hopefully. You're not welcome here.
There's 5 of us. Maybe you're not welcome here.
Tough, you didn't build the camp, right? When you walked here 2 days ago, the camp was here.
No, but like I said, I've been appointed constable of the camp, and it's my
Appointed by who?
the others that used to live here.
What others? There's nobody here. I
This
have
is
an idea. Everyone, let's vote. I vote that.
Can I be the constable?
Which one are you?
Sand, the halfling.
Yeah. No, I vote that we make decisions as a group from this point forward. Everybody agree?
It's turned into a committee.
For now, yes.
Good. First order of
That works
business.
for now for me.
We don't need a constable anymore. Everybody agree?
I was hoping for that job.
Oh. We'll have an election in a month. How's that?
Perfect.
Good. Well, Malrin will stick his hand out and like he's going to shake it to Toph and say, Toph, thank you for your service. The committee has agreed that you're no longer needed as constable, but you're welcome to stay on as a member.
I'm just picturing this arrogant elf just walks up to a human and says all this.
Right.
Great.
Right. Yeah. He doesn't know what to make of this. So last night, he knew he was outnumbered. He looks around again at the 5 of you, or basically standing around him. He goes, "All right. I'm not gonna die here to you lot. I know when to back down."
Let's go. Let's go to this river and collect our water for the day. Get some firewood.
I clear my throat to Malrin. A promise is a promise. Give him his bow back.
Fair enough. I'll hand him his bow back and his arrows.
All right. He's very confused by this. Doesn't know what to make of it. You can see on his face, like you can just read him like a book. But he snatches it right away from you and puts it over his back and the quiver on his side.
That was very honorable.
Cathra's impressed. All right. So he goes, "Oh, what? There's plenty of firewood here. What do you need? Well, there's water. What do you need to go there for?"
Well, let's get some food then. I'd like to start doing a scout of the area. See, when is this other elf expected back?
I don't know. Hopefully today.
How long has she been gone?
Couple days now.
Did we get a good look at the arch we came through? Were there any symbols on it or anything?
Yeah, you would have noticed some strange symbols on it.
Okay. Well, Malrin asks if it would be okay with the party if he wants to head back and examine those, see if he can make anything out on them.
Do you want all of us to go with you, or do you want to split up in groups?
He says, "I'd like to go. Don't we can travel as a group, or if you guys don't want to go, we don't have to go, or I don't have to go with you. You don't have to go with me," he says. But that I'm suggesting that as a course of action.
If the dangers are as bad as Todd says, I'll go with you to the arch.
Thank you.
Okay. So, as you're talking and you guys are deciding who wants to go where, you hear a voice from behind you, a female voice, and say, "What is the meaning of this?" You turn around and you see a blue-eyed, long gray-haired, smooth-faced, medium-built female elf standing there with a bow pointed at the group of you.
Hello, are you the elf we've been waiting on? Or what type of elf is she?
A high elf.
Okay. Hello, cousin. We've been waiting for you.
Who are you?
We came through the portal the same as you, apparently by the same man, making promises. We've all been trapped here.
She thinks for a while. All right, and what is it? What did Toth tell you?
The alpha look at someone else in the group. Let them.
So with
He
that,
told
Toth goes, "They tried to steal me belongings and kill me in the night, Dawn."
No, he didn't. Or he'd be dead.
We borrowed his bow so he could stay alive in the night.
They tried to steal from me, Dawn. They can't be trusted. I kick them out of the camp. They tried to demote me from constable.
We didn't try, we did.
Get out
I
of
can tell.
Get out of the camp.
We're all in the same boat here. We've all been tricked through the portal. This camp dates before any of us have arrived. I would assume we're all trying to survive and find out what's going on here. I don't understand why we are fighting.
Dawn agrees. She goes, "Yes, no, you're wise. It's true. We are all fighting for survival here. There's no need to fight one another." When did you come through the portal?
Yesterday afternoon, too.
And let me guess, you were promised a new life.
Something like that.
Well, many have been tricked and are now stuck over here. Many die. Not many of us survive. This is a strange land, and I don't know where we are or who sent us here or why.
Let
How
me
long
guess you've
have
seen
you been here?
Oh, go ahead.
How long have you been here?
As far as I can tell, I've been here for near 2 months.
So no sign of civilization or other races that have been here since long ago, or
I've
any
not
ruins?
I've encountered ruins. I've seen remnants of past civilizations. I've not seen any current inhabitants of this world other than ones like you who have come through the portal.
I highly doubt you've seen many of my kind, I hope.
No, I haven't. I was tracking a band of goblins recently. They've taken up residence in a nearby crypt, it appears. They must have come through the portal as well. They've been killing most of the wildlife that I've been trying to track and bring back to keep us alive. They seem to be mad with some sort of power. Don't know what it is. I haven't gotten close enough. I'm the only one out there, so I dare not enter the ancient crypt myself.
How many individuals have you seen about?
Other people? Or what do you mean by individuals?
Goblins.
Goblins?
Have you been able to pick out any individuals? Do you have any idea of the numbers there?
I've seen at least a dozen. I've also seen wandering orcs, trolls, the odd ogre. These are the only band that I've seen taken up residence and seem to be thriving.
I'm a fallen Aasimar.
Yes, thank you. Fallen Aasimar and a warlock. Goes, you, not a tiefling, no. You look, by the way you're dressed and the way you're armed, you look like adventurers. Is this the sort of thing that adventurers do, is clear out crypts and tombs? Perhaps you could help us.
Well, in my life over on the other side of the portal, I was a gladiator, fighting people for entertainment.
Well, I fear, Gladiator, that they are going to be encroaching in our territory, and what we have established, they may destroy.
If they're evil, you can count on my warhammer.
They are most likely evil. I hear strange chanting and incantations coming from that crypt. Unlike anything I've heard before. I don't know what they've uncovered or what's going on down there. Definitely evil. That gets your attention, Catherine.
Then let us go. Let us smite this evil. If we are indeed a group among the survivors, let us band together and smite this evil.
Well, I'd be more than happy to show you there.
Then let us go right away.
Well, it's about a day's travel east. If you wouldn't mind, I
Great,
wouldn't mind.
stuck between a bunch of goblins and Constable Dick.
He's not a constable
Halflings,
anymore.
stay behind me.
Is Toth coming?
Toth is not going to come. If you ask Toth if he's coming, he's just like, well, I'm staying here watching the camp. Someone's got to be the constable. I'll watch the camp. Watch out for others like you coming through the portal.
Out of character. You're probably gonna need that bow now.
Oh no, that's actually going to be in character. It's got what's our elf's name? The new elf?
Done.
Dawn. He'll speak to her in Elvish, and he'll say, Dawn, I would be much more effective if I could borrow the constable's bow for our work. I'm afraid when I was sent here, I have nothing but the staff.
Why don't you do a persuasion? Try and convince her as a high elf to high elf.
It's not a skill I have, but you want in the tower?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Okay, she thinks about it and she shakes her head after a little while and goes, Toth, hand over your bow. And he gets his feathers all ruffled and his back's up again. Oh, Dawn, what are you doing taking this side? You just met. What do you mean? And she calmly steps towards him and just takes the bow off his back and the quiver, and she says, give him the bow. And she takes it from him and then hands it to you, Malrin.
I'll nod and thank her solemnly in Elvish, and then I'll turn and thank. I will thank Toth as well. See
He
if I have.
spits on the ground when you thank him.
It's funny.
Toth is human. Did I say something else?
Toth is human. Dawn is the other elf.
Dawn is the elf.
Yeah.
Oh, humans don't have feathers. Ha, 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 ha.
Malrin will reach into his scholar's pack and draw out his knife and offer it to him. So it is the only other thing I have besides the staff.
He looks at the dagger, the knife, and he takes it after, a moment of thought. He snatches it out of your hand quickly.
Okay.
And puts it in his belt.
If I find something of interest, I will pass it to you from the crypt.
You say that to him?
Mhm.
Likely you won't survive. So, Dawn suggests then that you all set off shortly. You've got a long day of travel ahead of you. It says if you need to do anything or make any preparations before you leave, the time is now.
Can we grab
Got
some
any more
berries
of
and
those nuts?
mushrooms?
Yeah.
Yeah, you ask Dawn, like, oh, is there anywhere we can get more of this food? And she goes into one of the hovels and comes out, and she's got like a pouch, and in it there's like assorted like nuts that have been collected. There's some mushrooms in another pouch, berries in another. And she says, "This should be more than enough." Along our way as well, I'll show you what is edible.
Has there been any poisonings from food around here that we should be aware of?
She looks troubled, and she goes, some of the early people that came through, it was trial and error, and there were some mistakes made, but we've learned from those mistakes.
There's a scary thought. Death by ogre or a lich, that's something glorious, but death by food poisoning is rather meager. I pity those people.
Not pay the fool.
Exactly.
Okay.
If it makes you feel better, I can try your food first for you.
I'm fine.
Suit yourself.
It's very
I will.
noble. It's very noble of you, Cathra. To your question 12. The question that was whispered to me. Okay. So it's still early morning. It's about 8 a.m. at this point. You're welcome. And you guys set off with Dawn. And she kind of gives you a breakdown of what she's seen in her time here. She backs up a lot of what Toth said. Like, this place is bizarre. It's weird. It is alien in nature. There's familiar things that she's encountered, but there's also strange creatures, like things that we know in our world, such as, wild game. They exist here, but they're different. They're different sorts. They don't look the same. They don't act the same, but they're familiar. And she guides you along the way. Before long, it's noon. You stop. You have some lunch, and you guys take in the sights. And about 2:00, she creeps up on a clearing, and there's a river up ahead. You guys can hear it, and she turns around and whispers, and goes, "Okay, there's a bridge up ahead, and I've encountered trouble here before. We're out in the open. We should be careful. We should cross one at a time and quietly as possible, not to attract any attention. We've had the benefit of the woods around us all the way here, so we must be as quiet and careful as possible up ahead." And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you guys, give me a marching order in that party sheet for me of who's going when and where. If you go back into the party sheet and click on the order tab, you should see a marching order and formation screen. And you should see all your tokens in there. You should be able to put them in. There you go. Go from top to bottom. Who's going first to last? Let's do it that way. We'll do it vertically. The question that was asked, it's about 5 to 10 feet.
Malrin's going to go up the tree nearest to the bridge,
Okay.
get a clear kind of vision of the field, and set up with his bow and cover them all like a sniper.
Okay. Sounds good. So I'll just take you out of the marching order for the time being. Okay, so how do you guys want to tackle this? Do you want to go stealthily across? Do you just want to trudge across and not really care if it's your character? It's a big log that's fallen. And there's an opening on essentially either side before it leads back into the woods.
Well, at that point, it's more about being careful, not falling into the river. Stealth is secondary.
Too. It's a really big dead tree, but yeah.
If it can hold Kalidar, it can hold any of us.
Calder walks across the bridge carefully, not trying to be quiet, but probably not succeeding.
Okay, so you're not gonna try to be quiet or anything?
I'm going to try to be quiet.
Sorry, Kalidar, I didn't hear what you said. I heard Kathra.
I would try to be quiet, but not falling in would be better than being quiet.
Okay. Did you guys want to do stealth or not?
I will.
Okay, go ahead and roll me stealth in the dice tower. But if the others in front of you are not trying to be stealthy, it doesn't actually really matter. It's like the one time you roll a 20, right?
He's actually like a halfling, so he could like mask our numbers by having him like
Go between the legs and...
Yep.
Sorry, not tower. 1 second.
That's fine. We'll keep it. We'll roll with it. Ha 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 ha, pun intended. Okay, so Kalidar, you're leading the charge. You got Kathra right behind you. Sand is behind her. And Kalidar, you make it about 3/4 across the way, and then suddenly you hear a voice come from the trees ahead of you. And it's like a monstrous voice, and it tells you, "Oh, this is Wizwug's bridge. You can't use it. Turn around or die." And suddenly a large bugbear comes crashing from the trees with a club in his hand and snarling at you. Go ahead and roll me initiative. You guys see a map there?
Loading.
Might take a while. Being the first map that we've loaded, hopefully it shouldn't be too bad. By the way, Sand, you're like super stealthy. But the people in front of you were not. If it makes you feel any better. Oh, I guess you saw
Map has
it
been
with your 18. Malrin, I'm gonna put you about there. Does that make sense?
Yep. Yeah, that's fine.
Being in that tree there?
Mhm.
Okay. So, a big bugbear, as I move my map, a big bugbear crashes out of the woods and is demanding that you stop using his bridge. Kalidar, you are up front, and you're also the first to react to this. What would you like to do?
Drawing my battle axe and my longsword and approaching him, say, surely we can come to an agreement, some toll of some sort.
Okay. All right. So you're trying to
Malrin thinks to himself, we have nothing on us, do we?
you got your weapons and your armor. So you're trying to reason with the bugbear? Or are you trying to intimidate the bugbear, or what are you trying to do to him? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go for intimidation.
Okay. Okay. So go ahead and roll me intimidation. All right. He snorts and he just like, I'll crush you. Get some. Let's get some.
Every bugbear has his day, I suppose.
Yeah, that's right. So to growl.
Awesome.
Come on. Either back away or I kill you. Do you want to do anything else there, Kaladar? So you tried intimidating him. Didn't work. Did you want to move?
Yeah.
Because you that was your action there, trying to intimidate this guy. Just gonna get right up on there with him.
Yeah.
Okay. Baracus. Like to. All right, so you launch an Eldritch Blast at him. And hit him. So why don't you go ahead and describe. What does your Eldritch Blast look like? How does it manifest? What does it look like as it flies from you towards him?
Well, I shoot it out of my hand, and it's kind of like this colorless force that shoots. Kind of like a ball or something.
Right? So it flies towards him and slams into his chest. And he lets out a curse. Did you want to move or do anything else in your turn?
I'll move there.
Hey.
Oh, I thought you locked tokens.
I thought I did too. Thanks for reminding me. They're now locked. Tokens are now locked. Okay, and that's it for your turn?
Yep.
Malrin.
Malrin is going to drop Fairy Fire on him.
Okay.
Just like that.
Just like that.
And he's going to... Where's the save?
Okay. So, he failed.
Okay, so now everybody is going to have advantage to hit him.
Okay, so we'll just remember.
Do you want me to read it to you, or you got it?
Why don't you go ahead and you can read it to me. I don't have it.
All right. Each object in the cube within range is outlined in blue, green, and or violet light. I guess it's my choice. So we'll say green light. And if he fails a saving throw, now everyone gets advantage.
Awesome. So you guys all see this like neon light in a cube around the area. Did you want to do anything else?
That's all he could do.
Can't move?
He's happy where he is.
Okay, just checking. Okay, so Sand, you see this orb of light, or cube of light, I should say, around him now. What would you like to do? I'm gonna move up there.
I'm gonna move up and
So before you
try
attack,
and
Oh, yeah.
All right, we got a new subscriber. Did you guys hear that? That was hilarious.
Yes.
Go ahead and click the advantage button that you clicked earlier before you attack, thanks to the fairy fire that is on Warg, or Waswig, I should say. I'm thinking Warg because it's got a W. Waswig the bugbear, as he shouted out.
So one neat mechanic that will go into effect now is whenever there's advantage on an opponent, Sand will have get sneak damage on it.
Hmm.
You should already have that because there's a character next to him, though.
Okay. So you missed on the first attack. And missed on
Not
the
good show.
second attack. Hey man, I feel your pain. It happens to me like...
He didn't get advantage on his second attack though, did he?
Oh, yeah, redo the second attack. You have to click it every time, sorry. There you go. Okay, go ahead and roll me your damage.
He didn't get his sneak damage either. D6.
Yep, roll me a d6 and I'll add it on there. 5 more damage. All right, so you make your way up there, Sand, and you got your dual daggers, and you start kind of like twirling around and chipping away at his calves, and you hit like an artery, and you do some major damage. He's starting to wince in pain. He lets out a yell as you slash into him. Lets out some sort of curse. And he's gonna retaliate at you. You're the closest target that's hit him.
All
So,
right.
He
And
lifts
the
up.
first character death goes to.
He lifts up. I know I said club, but he lifts up and brings it down on you, and smacks it down upon you. And you're hurting. This thing, he lets out a curse, brings it up over his head, and drops it down on you, and it thuds into like your shoulder blades, and you wince in pain. And he laughs.
We got each other pretty good.
You did. It was eye for an eye. Cathra, you're watching this all play out. What do you want to do?
I want to smite some evil.
I like it. Okay. Move 10 feet next to Sand. And
Can I go on the same square as him?
You can go through him. You can't end on the same square as him. So you could, yes, you could end up there. Perfect. So you come on over, and the bugbear is, another short one, bring it on. You swing, and he sidesteps around it. And that brings us back to the top of the order. Kaladar.
Don't forget your advantage, guys.
Oh, you did forget advantage. Sorry,
I did indeed.
Sorry, Kaladar. We're going to go back and redo that one. Thank you for reminding us, Malrin. So what I'm going to get you to do is just roll another attack. Without advantage? Okay. It's a miss. All right, so now we're back to...
Matters not.
Exactly. So now it's back to Kaladar. Kaladar, remember, if you're going to attack, which I'm assuming you're going to, click that advantage button before you do so on the bottom of the bottom left-hand side of the screen. Miss and a... You know what, Kaladar? You don't have him targeted. So remember, you have to hold control and click on the token that you're attacking.
think that's same with Cathra. She was actually targeting herself.
No
wonder she couldn't hit anything with a 16.
Might have hit. Well, this is also a learning experience for some of our folks with Fantasy Grounds, so it's all good. This is all good practice. So, Kaladar, I'm going to get you attack in. So, attack first with your longsword before you make your second attack. So, swing with your longsword first. Beauty. It's a hit. So, roll me a damage with your longsword attack.
Give me 1 moment.
Yep. Okay. So you bring your longsword around, you hit him, but you just graze him. But he's like on death's door. So go ahead and roll me your next attack. And that is a hit. And roll me damage. All right. So you kill this bugbear with your battle axe. Why don't you go ahead and describe me the kill?
Using the first slash of the longsword to move the bugbear into a better position, come crashing, slashing across with the battle axe to cleave his face in two.
Awesome. You cleave him, and he drops to the ground with a gurgle as he dies. And this is now your bridge. You wait for a moment, nothing, no other sounds come out of the woods. You just stand at the ready, but it seems everything is past at this point. What would you guys like to do now? Sand is in pretty rough shape. Combat is now over. I'll unlock tokens if you want to move around. We don't need to stay on the map, but is there anything you'd like to do? Dawn urges you. We should keep moving. Nightfall will be falling soon, and we don't want to be caught out here. There's much worse things than bugbears.
Halfling, will you make it till nightfall?
As long as I don't have to fight anything else.
Then give me your hands. As she grasps the amulet from the hilt of her warhammer, she speaks a prayer to her god Tyr, asking for his assistance to heal this halfling.
Sure. So you're doing lay on hands? You're casting a spell? What is it you want to do?
Lay on hands.
Okay. So 5 times your level, so Sand gets 5 hit points back. So you're just
Come, let us go.
You're just about at full there, Sand. All right. Cathra heals you.
Thank you.
You feel rejuvenated somewhat. You feel a lot better than you did before this wound. And she suggests you carry on.
Malrain asks Sand, Sand, does the beast have anything of value?
Now that I can actually move my arms, I'm definitely rifling around it. Does the animal carry anything that's worth taking?
So you look at the bugbear, and he's got, he does have some gear on him, but it's like El Cheapo gear. Like you could use it, but it's not the greatest. So he's carrying a morning star and a javelin on him. But you look at his other belongings. There's nothing really of benefit.
Certainly nothing for me, but anybody want a Morning Star or Javelin?
I don't need those things.
You could give him it to what's his name back at camp.
That's true. All right.
And I'm not carrying it back there for him.
Eh. We'll leave it for old Tothy. He doesn't need it.
I'll carry it in case you need it.
Okay, so Kaladar is gonna take the weapons. What I'm gonna do is I'll throw it in the party sheet so it's there in case anybody wants to use it later, but you don't have to like equip it or anything. Throw those items in there. And with that, did you guys want to just take a quick little 5-minute break? I figure we're gonna go for another 40 minutes. We'll cut it off at 40 minutes time if that works for everybody.
Sure.
That's fine.
Everybody
Thank
want
you.
to take a quick 5-minute break, step away, get some water, and come back?
Sounds good to me.
Okay, very good. Then we will take a quick break. All right. Thank you, Butterknife, for following. Welcome back, everybody. We're ready to pick back up. We've got about 40 minutes, half an hour left here, so let's get as much done in the remaining time as we can. All right, so the battle fades, and Dawn says, "We must carry on. We have some ground to cover before nightfall. And this bugbear is the least of my worries." So you guys carry on for a few more hours, and the shadows are long and faded. Twilight is upon you. Suddenly, Dawn whispers, "There it is. It's up ahead." And you see it now, a low, rocky hill pushing up from the surrounding trees. A large, natural cave is plainly visible near the base. As you guys get a little closer to the entrance, you see a set of stairs just inside the entrance, hewn from the rock and descending into the earth and blackness. She goes, "It's in there. It's in there that I hear the chanting, and I see the goblins coming and going. I wish you luck. I'm gonna make my way back to the camp and check on Toth. He means well. He's a fool, but he means well, and he looks after the others. I must also check to see if others have come through the portal to see if they are all right." And with that, she turns around and silently re-enters the forest. So you've got a set of stairs in front of you leading down into this temple. Make your way down.
Malrin looks to the to Sand. Sand, what's your experience with this sort of thing? Do they often have traps in these places?
If it's getting a lot of traffic from the goblins, probably not, but we should probably check.
I think this is your department. Maybe we should let you look ahead and see what's in store for us. What do the rest of you think?
He's small, agile. He should go
I'm gonna,
unnoticed.
I am going to check for traps.
On the stairs?
Yep.
Okay. So go ahead and make me an investigation roll. So you sweep the area, and you don't seem to find any traps in and around the entrance and these stairs.
It seems to be safe to me, guys, but be careful.
Thank you.
Okay, marching order. Who wants to go first? Do we want to go quietly? What do we want to do?
Do you want to keep the same marching order we had going over the bridge?
I can't see in the dark.
That could be a problem.
Then let me go first.
Do you want me to cast something to allow you to see, or would you rather it's not to go unnoticed? Because creatures in the dark tend to be able to see in it. I have the light cantrip. Cast it.
Who can see among us? Malrin raises his hand. I can see in the dark.
Baracus raises his hand.
Cathra does as well.
So it is Sand and Kaladar that don't see well.
That seems to be the case.
Hang on a second here. Perhaps if you can cast that light upon a coin, Kaladar could hold it in his hand. Then if we need darkness, he can close his hand.
An idea. Sand, do you offer up a coin or a trinket or something from your backpack for Baracus to cast
Oh,
light on?
oh, sure, it's got to be my coin.
Then you cast it on my axe.
You
I
could get
begrudgingly give him a coin and say, I'm going to want this back.
Okay. Light.
okay. All right, so you cast light. You know what? We're gonna back it up a little bit. We don't have that's one thing that's missing. You find in your pockets that there's no coins. Your money seems to be gone when you go to search for a coin.
We'll cast it. Are there any rocks around?
There are rocks. You guys could cast it on a small rock.
Okay, we'll do that then. 30 feet radius, is that right?
Who's got the spell? What's the radius on this thing?
1 second.
Who's casting the light?
Range 30. But I think
30?
that's the casting range.
Area of effect. Spell description.
5-foot cube.
Ooh.
Really?
Okay, well it's better than
And then
nothing. You'll see it when it's right in front of your feet and your nose.
Really? That's the light spell?
I can like create a 5-foot cube of light. I don't know the radius of this light.
Well, it would be the 5-foot cube. No? Okay.
All right. Well, we don't have to worry about that alerting too many monsters.
Nope. We have to worry about it with the people seeing things in front of them.
Okay, well,
So how does that going to change our marching order then? So let's bring that back up to understand who wants to go where. I'll drag your tokens back on there because this is drastically going to change things, right?
20-foot radius.
20
Yeah,
feet.
that's
Light. With
that sounds better.
that's
That sounds
bright,
better.
and then dim light for an additional 20 feet. There we go.
Sounds more like it.
Thank
I'll
you.
make those.
All right, we're 20 bright, 20 dim. Okay, awesome. There we go. Thank you, people. Thank you, Baracus, and thank you, chat. Everybody's on
I
it.
was reading minor illusion. That's what the 5-foot cube thing was. I'm like, what does?
So let's set up our marching formation then. So you guys have light now in front of you. Do we want to do the same thing? I believe it was Kalidar up front, Casper behind, Sand, Malrin, and then Baracus. Do you want to switch it up a bit?
Well, I'm ranged, so I can be in the back, melee in front. Something to that effect.
Okay.
Well, I think
I should probably not lead.
Well, that's where the light is up front, isn't it?
yeah, we might as well have Kalidar is the I think we should keep the same order.
If it's bright light for 20 feet and dim light for another 20, putting me in the middle is probably the best.
Right. Yep. That's where we'll go with this.
Okay. All right. Very good. Look at you guys set up. So that's our order going down into the going down the stairs. Do we want? Are we quiet? We're just going down. We're going in. How's this playing out?
Well, we're gonna in that room. We're gonna Malrin will ask everyone to just remain silent for a minute, and perhaps we can all listen and see if we can hear this chanting.
Like waiting at the top of the stairs and listening?
Yes.
So you guys, does everybody agree?
Yes.
Yep.
So you guys stand there and you listen for a while, and you can hear like the odd chattering. You can hear, Goblin. If anybody understands Goblin, you can hear the odd speech between them. You can hear like the wind howling. You can hear scuffling. But you don't make out anything particular. It's all sort of muffled.
How far does it sound from the entrance?
It sounds quite far. It's off a ways. It doesn't sound like it's right at the bottom of the entrance.
But nothing that sounds like organized chanting or anything?
Correct.
Okay.
You can hear snoring somewhat close to you.
Okay. With that, Narun will say, perhaps that's a sleeping guard. As he says that, he'll be looking at the halfling.
That's all you, Sand, buddy.
It could be. Want me to sneak forward, see what I can see? My eyes are not great in this dark.
Well, he's snoring, so perhaps your ears will do.
And what would you like me to do when I get to him?
Well, if he wakes, he'll raise the alarm, so can you kill him quietly?
Let's let's give that a go.
All right.
Although my last steal didn't go so great.
Okay. So why don't you make me a stealth check or stealth roll in the tower? Are you guys going to be like holding the light at the top of the stairs or anything to help Sand out? Like, how do you guys want to do this? You're just going to send him off into the darkness. Coup de grace.
I'll hold the light as far into the tunnel as I can from the top.
Okay, so Sand, I'm not kidding you. You rolled a 1, so you step at the top stair and you tumble on down, buddy, making loud clanking the whole way, as you fall down each stair.
Oh, just rip the band-aid off.
It's not been your night for stealth rolls.
I'm just killing it today.
So you guys see Sand go to step on the first step, and he just rolls and tumbles, and you hear cursing from him and wincing, and his daggers clanking on the stone stairs. And with that, you hear the snoring stop, and Sand, you're
I
sitting,
don't hear snoring anymore, guys.
you're sitting face to face with a single goblin who's right in front of you. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get everybody to do initiative.
Is standard happen to be on luck? Be able to re-roll that?
Oh, the halfling with luck. Does that get you a reroll there, Sand?
Actually, I think it does. Once a
Grab my player's hand. I've
day.
never played a halfling. So let's take a look here. That's good catch, Kaladar. Once per day you get to reroll your...
Yeah, you're going to need more than once a day, I think.
No kidding.
Savage.
Funny. So when you roll one on an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw, you can reroll the die and must take the new roll. You wanna play this out again, Sand?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Why not? It can't get any worse. We can clear initiative order then, can't we? There we go. All right. You step on the stairs with, as far as you can tell, without a sound, and you slip into the darkness. And the others, you guys standing at the top stairs, you don't see or hear a thing once he gets into the darkness. So, Sand, you're in the room, and you see a single sleeping goblin. So you enter into a large room, the bottom of the stone steps, and it's full of dust and rubbish and all kinds of stuff just lying around. The only other exit from the room is a wide corridor to the north, flanked on either side by dark statues. A single goblin lies near the bottom of the steps, snoring loudly. What do you want to do? He's still asleep. He doesn't seem to...
I want to try and remove his
Sorry, you broke up there. Remove his what, sorry?
vocal cords. I'm going to cut his throat out.
Okay. Let's let's do this. Here's the coup de grace.
So what should I roll here, Matt?
So go ahead and make me an attack roll. And I'll give you advantage on it. You didn't target him. Hold can... No, is he not visible to you guys yet?
That's gonna
he's
hit.
visible. It's a hit. So go ahead and roll. Yeah, you got a target now. So go ahead and roll me damage. Okay. Why don't you go ahead and describe what just played out? The others didn't see what happened. This is all you, Sand. This is your moment. So describe what you did here.
I take his. I jam my short neck, and as he bleeds out, I start rifling through his pockets.
Okay. All right.
Do I find anything?
You don't. Other than his weapons. So he's got on him a short sword. That's it.
I go back to the group and I say, "Well, that's done," and he didn't even have anything for me.
All right. So Sand claims he's eliminated the threat at the bottom of the stairs. Comes back up the stairs silently. He just like emerges from the shadows. You guys are kind of like all standing there, waiting, listening, and then he just emerges from the shadows and he's standing in front of you. Says, "It is done."
Well done.
Thank you, Hadley.
Good job, Sand.
Put down their watch now. Perhaps we could slip further into the complex.
All right. So you guys make your way down there, and you see the same thing that Sand did. A large room, two large statues on either side of a hallway that opens up to the north. And you see a dead goblin. What I'll do is unlock the tokens for now as we're moving around, and as combat happens, we'll lock the tokens down again. Move through here. So you guys see a hallway to the north, and it looks like one just up ahead veers off to the east, and there's another one just a little ways up to the west.
So those of us with dark vision can see that hallway up there, right?
Correct.
Do we hear anything that's close?
You. Why don't you go ahead and make me a perception roll? You don't hear anything out of the ordinary that you'd heard before. It's just kind of like wind rustling through and kind of like scratching and odd noises that are keeping you on your toes.
All
A little
Mallory will
eerie.
quietly walk to this corner and look around the corner. Like just peek around and peek back again.
Right. So you look down the corner and you see a hallway, and about 30 feet, 40 feet down, you see a doorway to a room. Looks like I forgot to put a door on that wall when I created this map. But there's a door on that wall at the end of the hallway.
Okay. Open or closed?
Closed.
Okay. Wooden door?
Yes.
Okay. Mallory will whisper back and say, there's a wooden closed door at the end of the hall. We'll move up here and do the same thing.
Okay. So down this hallway, you can see another hallway. And this one's about 60 feet down. At the end of the hallway, you see a wooden door. And it looks like halfway down this hallway to the south, it veers down another, might be another opening or hall or something there.
Any noise coming from this one?
Yeah, there actually is. You can hear coming down this hallway, scratching and kind of like heavy animalistic breathing every once in a while.
From the opening, perhaps?
You don't know. It's just coming down the hallway.
Does Malrin know enough about goblins to know that sometimes they keep dogs? Or would that be an out of
What does Mallory know about goblins?
I don't know. Normally we'd want to roll that, right?
Yeah, normally we would.
So let's take a look. All right, well, he'll report back to the party what he hears.
Explain to the others what you saw. Does anybody have a take on what he said? What do you guys want to do?
I say we go for the scratching.
Right, Catherine's like, let's do this. I'm told
Likely
there's
that-
unspeakable evil down here, and I'm a paladin. I'm ready to face this evil.
Precisely.
Okay, likely it'll be wolves or something, dogs maybe.
It did sound sort of dog-ish in nature.
Well, so are we going to kick in a door, or are we going to continue to try and be quiet? Which would you prefer? I know what the dwarf wants, but
You're like, someone please answer other than the dwarf.
We shouldn't have to mask our existence here. We're here on the side of justice and light.
Oh,
Leroy Jenkins.
Malrin nods, looks
don't-
to the rest of the group for any dissension.
Shh, don't tell them that, devil dog. Don't ruin
I say,
the surprise.
unfortunately, all my attacks are quite loud. So any combat that we do probably stir some response.
Yeah, why not fight everything at once? Why did I sneak down here and kill this thing?
You could tell that Malrin's agreeing with you there. So He says, "Well, let's perhaps start with the door to the right, so we don't have anything behind us then." And with that, he'll bow and wave Catherine on down that hallway.
Finally, some sense, elf. Thank you.
I'll follow her.
All right.
There's a door at the end of this one. Yeah.
Yes, there's an invisible door that your DM forgot to put on there when he made the map. All right, so there's a wooden door in front of you down the hallway.
Gonna listen to the door.
You don't hear anything.
Okay. Then I'm going to step back and make room for a smaller creature to get up there and examine the door.
The smaller creature being a halfling.
All right, let's see if I can pick the lock. Did we try and open the door? Did we try and open the door before I try and pick this lock?
No, nobody's tried the door yet.
Union rules, man. You gotta let the halfling do that.
Catherine, why don't you give that a tug before I try and ruin this lock here?
Are you afraid of a door?
Yep.
All right. Malrin will open the door.
You're just gonna swing it on open?
Sure.
Okay, you swing it on open. It wants to load for me. A large room containing 2 rows of beds and goblins in those beds.
How many? Oh,
You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 goblins in the beds, sleeping, and one sitting at the table with his back to you, who then turns around and utters something in goblin as you swing the door open.
I think you said roll initiative.
That's right. You speak goblin. Go. All right. So you've got a room of goblins. One at the table there who shouts as you slam the door open, and now the rest are springing.
I didn't slam. I quietly opened the door.
You quietly opened it. Or you just swung it open.
Well, I remember you
swung it open.
I'm not a kick in the door type. That's why I did it instead of the dwarf.
Gotcha. Okay. So we've got some alert goblins here. So
This is what.
What's that?
We gotta pick a square though. Hold on.
This is
good.
Wars.
Yeah. This is why you can't have nice things.
Are we able to stand two abreast here?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Yeah, in the hallway you can. All right, so first up we've got goblin number 1. He's in the bed closest to the door in the bed to the south, closest to the door. He springs up and you hear him yell out some obscenities in goblin. Grabs his scimitar lying next to the bed and makes his way over in front of the door. And Malrin, you're the first one he sees, so he's gonna swing at you. You disturbed his slumber. He's not happy with you. How dare you wake up a sleeping goblin? All right, so he swings with the scimitar and buries it in you. And a little bit of blood, kind of splatters on that one because he hit you good. He hit you in the calf. Got the swing around. You were kind of startled. You're turning, and all of a sudden you got a scimitar buried in your calf. And he lets out a cackle. Next up, his buddy at the back of the room is startled awake, and he's gonna go back there, and he's gonna draw his short bow and fire it through the door
He's gonna do all this in the round he wakes up.
Heck yeah.
Okay.
And hits you with an arrow. And you guys see Malrin drop to the ground after taking an arrow. Goblin number 2 grabs his sword and heads to the door.
Can we move while the goblins are having their turn?
No.
No, you have to
No.
wait for initiative.
So Baracus, you are the next to act. You watched Malrin drop in front of you, and a room full of
thing's
chattering
dangerous.
goblins. Oh. Goblin number 3.
An eye for an eye.
All right, so you take revenge. Do you want to describe this kill? This is an instant kill. You want to walk us through what this looks like?
Well, I see elf person get hit by an arrow. I see which being did it, and then I decided to destroy him from the inside out with the Eldritch Blast. Kind of inside the mouth, and then exploded from within.
Boom! So he's just like dust at this point. A fine red mist.
Malrin, are you reading chat?
Yeah, Malrin, you got some fans out there.
I can't. He can't say anything in character though because he's unconscious.
That's right.
He'll go ahead and lie on the floor for his turn.
Are you gonna make me a death save?
I don't think I have to. I'm unconscious. I'm not dying.
Okay. You're at 0.
You kind of are.
Oh my! What's the rule? 0.
Yeah, you're.
Oh, I do have to make a death save. Okay. I apologize. Let me go ahead and do that.
Kind of misleading on the tracker there.
Yeah, no worries. That's a fail.
Okay. All right. Your paladin's coming up here. So goblin number 4 gonna jump out of bed and joins in, laughing and chattering at the others. Jumps up and readies its sword and stands there watching through the door, waiting for the next victim to make their way in. Kathra, it's your turn.
Can I go ahead and grab Malrin and drag him back behind the rest of the group and do my lay on hands?
Yeah, I'll allow that. You've used your lay on hands. How many uses per day do you have for lay on hands?
As far as
it's kind
I
of-
know,
It's a pool of energy that you
Right.
can use whenever.
Sorry, I was just reading that. Yep, you can grab him, drag him. I'll say because you're dragging him, it's half your movement. So your movement is like, what, 25 feet now? So you can move him half of your movement, and you can lay on hands. I'll allow that.
awesome. So how do I drag him?
I'll move him. Where do you want to move to? Move your token, and I'll drag him with you.
Chat's pretty funny.
Yes. Okay. And Malrin, you suddenly spring back from the dead.
I'm not dead.
I'm not dead yet.
Not dead yet.
You wake
How
up.
many? Oh, cool.
You got five
Fine.
hit. You got 5 hit points. So you wake up, and you're looking, straight up, and you see the dwarf standing over you, kind of chanting, and this magic light emanating from her hands as you breathe yet again.
I will shake my head and look at her and say, well, thank you. He'll be at a loss for words for the first time.
This makes me smile, a very, very large smile.
Definitely, he's feeling awkward now, having been saved by a dwarf.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, Cathra, that's your turn. So Goblin number 5 was the original guy at the table. And, you know, he's feeling brave. He watched this play out, and they're like, we took down one of these chumps. Who these guys think they are? So he grabs the scimitar off of his belt, and he charges in there towards the closest target, who is Sand. He gets out there, and he's a little surprised to see all you guys, how many there are of you, and especially, you know, the 8-foot tall guy. But he what the hell? He's feeling brave. And, you know, Sand, you guys are kind of like eye to eye, so he's going to take a swing at you.
Another one bites the dust.
Buries a scimitar in you. And
Close.
severely wounds you. You're feeling this.
Jeez.
These are the most deadly goblins I've ever seen.
Welcome
Buries a
to level
scimitar in
1
you.
5e.
Yes,
Right.
This is the hairy level.
Wow.
Kaladar, you watch this goblin kind of skitter out and sink his scimitar in one of your companions, and then ha 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 ha, let out a laugh and turn back to his buddies and like kind of wave them in like, come on, ha, ha, come on, come on. And they're all scattering about. What do you want to do there, Kaladar?
I'm gonna move into a position next to the goblin and attack him with my longsword and battle axe.
Okay. So go ahead and move your, or initiate where you want to move your token to, and I'll prove it. You just want to get like right next to Sand. Like, right, move you right there. Yeah, I'll flip it to you because this is too wide. Beautiful. All right, so you've got, I see you got Goblin 5 targeted, so swing with your long sword at... All right, so he's like, he's gloating, he's happy, he sees you, you know, this big 8-foot thing lumbering towards him, and you swing with your long sword, and he kind of like bobs and weaves under your legs, right? So then you bring up your battle axe and you take another swing at this guy. He laughs at you too. And this little guy, he's nimble. You know, this is David and Goliath. So you swing with your battle axe, and he just kind of sidesteps it again and just keeps laughing at you and encouraging the others to flood into the hallway. Sandman. You're in rough shape, buddy.
To attack or retreat?
Yeah, the rogue has something called withdraw. Are you familiar with that?
No.
Okay, so you can actually, you're one of the only characters that can get out of combat without causing an attack of opportunity when you attack. But that might be second level. You get that actually.
Cunning action is second level.
Yeah. So you could do a full withdraw here.
Yeah.
And then you would not risk dying, which I would recommend.
Yeah, he would not get an attack of opportunity against you. You could just slip away.
You're not going to get to attack this round, but you can attack from a distance.
Next round.
I have a bow, so I'll be doing that next round.
Wait, you had a bow?
Yes.
I didn't pack for this trip.
Wait a minute, he's got a bow? I don't have a bow.
I'm right there with you. I should have had a chain shirt and a long sword and a shield, a horse.
All right, Sand. So you take the distraction of your companion Kaladar, this big 8-foot lumbering Goliath, who's keeping the goblin busy, and while that's happening, you slip away, unseen from the goblin. Goblin 6 springs out of the bed. And he's gonna go back here like the other guy, and he's gonna draw his bow. He's gonna take a pot shot there at Kaladar.
Ugh.
And he buries an arrow in you.
Dude.
I know I'm getting these are the rolls that you're supposed to be getting on your stealth checks there, Sand. Levels his bow, takes a shot, and it lands. Boom, right into your shoulder. You kind of shrug it off. You wince and shrug it off.
Don't forget, I think Kalidar has a racial ability to allow him to once a day shrug off some damage.
Do you want to do it on 4 damage? Or do you
I
wanna...
wouldn't, but I want to let you know that you have it. You probably already do know that you have it, but just in case you forgot.
No, I'm just, for 4 damage I'll hold off, but maybe the next one I'll shrug off.
That's Stone's endurance.
Yes.
Okay. Sounds good. So we're back at the top of the turn order with Goblin 1. He's going to skitter in there, and he's also going to swing his blade at Kalidar. Is that better? On the zoom? Oop, I'll go more. There we go. All right.
That's how a goblin's supposed to attack.
So he swings at you and completely misses. He's still pleased. He's laughing. Ah. All right, Goblin 2. Standing back. He's gonna fire his bow at you, Kalidar. You're like public enemy number 1 in the front there. Tracy, buddy. Just hit you. Okay. Levels his bow, takes a shot, and another arrow sinks into your chest. Would you like to use your ability on that one?
Yes, I would.
All right. So focus yourself to occasionally shrug off an injury. When you take damage, you can use your reaction to roll a d12, add your constitution modifier to the number rolled, and reduce the damage by that total. So go ahead and roll me a d12. You can just grab it from the bottom there and throw it in. So you completely shrug off that 6 damage. Beautiful. What did you do? So kind of describe that for us.
Did it still hit me?
It did no damage. So, well, I don't know what does it look like. Did it hit you and then like pop out, or just kind of bounce off of you, or did it hit you and you just pulled it out and laughed and just shrugged off the damage? What does it look like when that happens?
As the arrow strikes me in the chest, I reach up, break it off, throw it down the corridor, back into Goblin, laugh. You goblin.
Nice. Like it. Brachus, you gave us a 1-hit kill there last time.
Not so this time.
Goblin 2, you get ready. Prime your Eldritch Blast, but it goes wide. Malrin.
Okay, I was kind of hoping to save this, but
You're not unconscious.
as I get 2 spells a day. This will be my second one. I'm regretting my first cast today now. I'm gonna go ahead and cast Sleep.
Okay. That's the square you want to cast it on? Perfect.
Yeah, I'm gonna target. There we go.
All right. So you cast Sleep, and all 5 goblins drop to the ground snoring.
Just 4. I couldn't
Oh, just
catch
4?
the last one.
Oh, right.
Couldn't get number 6.
Number 6 is still Number 6 is the one far away, but the ones you cast on, they all dropped.
Yep.
So all the ones in your race. Yeah. So just number 6. There's the guy at the back of the room with the bow drawn is the only one who's still awake. The others who are standing in the hallway and at the front of the door are all fell down and are snoring.
Yep.
He's still asleep. Cathra, what would you like to do? You got sleeping goblins in front of you. And an
Sand, if you
extremely
can manage
hurt.
to not die here, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go kill some goblins.
I'll do my best.
Awesome. Awesome. Try not to die. I have some goblins to kill. I love it. All right. So you want to go. Yeah. You go there? Or do you want to go take out the guy that's alive? Do you want to fight the sleeping ones? What do you want to do?
Can I make it to the guy that's alive?
Do you have anything ranged that you could hit him with? You can't hit him with
I
melee.
can throw my light hammers.
Yeah, that might do it actually.
All right, let's do it.
Oh yeah, you do have light hammers you can throw. Okay, so you want to move up to the doorway? You can get to the doorway. You can go ahead and target goblin number 6. I don't know how you do it on your Mac. Or you just drop dice on it, don't you? If anybody in chat knows how to target using the keyboard on a Mac, let us know. Because this is the bane of Cathra's Fantasy Grounds existence.
Does
Nothing happened. Hey,
shift
No.
click doesn't work? Well,
She
just
doesn't have a shift button on a Mac.
just have her roll the attack in the chat window and then drag and drop it on top of it. That's gonna hit.
That's a hit. Go ahead and
That
roll your
works.
damage.
And you can just do the same thing. Drag your damage on the. You should be able to drag it right on the goblin too if you can drag.
She can drop it on the token. If not, I can drop it out of chat onto the token.
Matt, can't she drag the 2 hit on top of the token too?
I'm not too sure as a player if you can or not.
I do that sometimes. Yeah.
did it work?
Okay.
Drag that on top of the goblin.
It worked.
It worked.
Yep.
So you throw a hammer at him, and it slams into him. You bumped him in the head, and he's in critical condition. He's in pretty rough shape. But it wasn't enough to kill him.
Pity.
Goblin 5, still sleeping. Kaladar, you are up. Oh, really?
Can I walk over to the goblin? I'll wait.
What did you want to do, sorry?
I want to walk over to I'll go to the next to the goblin that's awake and hit him with my
Sword?
battle axe and longsword.
Okay, go for it. Make sure you got him targeted. You have number 5, so you have to untarget goblin number 5. Awesome. Okay, roll your attack. So the first attack misses. Again, this is like David and Goliath. You know, you're a big lumbering brute, and he's just this tiny little goblin who's just skittering about. But your second swing, you bring your battle axe down on the goblin. Go ahead and roll me the damage. This is going to be a squish.
Is that a crit?
No, he rolled a 19.
And he's paced.
And he is splattered all over the walls.
Yay.
So, that's the end of combat. You guys are just going to walk up and, you know, slit the throats of the other goblins. We are going to end here because we're just a little bit past our end time, and you're in a room with beds, which is kind of convenient. Do you guys want to do any healing or anything before we end this session for when we pick up next time?
I can do some healing to a certain somebody over there that might be up to my ankles.
That keeps getting hit and almost dying.
You can also come hold my hand.
I can heal him for 1 HP.
Does it cost you anything?
Nope. It's not even a spell slot. It's just an ability of mine called Healing Hands. As an action, you can touch a creature to cause it to regain a number of hit points equal to my level. Can't use it again until I finish a long rest, and I may as well use it at some point.
Yes.
Speaking of levels, did we gain one, or
Nope.
still need?
No, you killed like a couple goblins. And one bugbear.
Dang.
And a bugbear.
And a bugbear. So yes, we're gonna leave off here. Cathra, did you want to do any healing to anybody? I'm assuming you guys want to rest in the room with beds? Or do you want
If we're gonna rest, then I'm not
Yep.
going to.
It'd probably be a short rest though, so it'd be hit dice and stuff.
Yeah.
Unless we want to try a long rest, but I think that would be kind of weird.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we'd have to leave if we want to do that.
Yeah, so Brack says a very good point. To do a long rest in here, you guys are like, oh, we're at the foot of the cave. We're in a goblin infested crypt. This might not be the good place to do an 8 to 10 hour long rest. So if you do a rest, it'll be a short rest, and you're not going to get all your hit points back. It'll be your hit dice.
We would get some though, right?
You would get some.
Okay.
Guys, it's a work night. I'm up early. I got to get going.
Yep. Nope. Thank you so much for playing. You guys can take off. You got to get going. I know it's late for some of you. It's even later for others.
Yep, I gotta go too. And thank you very much for DMing, guys. It was a lot of fun tonight. Thanks.
Yes. Thanks so much,
Yes,
guys,
it
for
was
being
lots of
part of
fun.
this. And
Thank you.
It
it's
was
awesome.
fun. Have a great night, guys.
We'll pick it up again next week. Thanks. Thanks for everybody watching me fumble my way through my first live stream. I appreciate it. I appreciated you all taking it easy on me and not trolling me too hard. Thanks again. Have a good night, everyone.